I'm Mike Austin, and we're here with the new SRT Viper, back from the dead. Chrysler's invited us out to Gingerman Raceway to get a sneak preview of the car before it goes into production later this year.
First of all, it's a huge day for us. This is a big day. So you are a very elite group. I don't know how you know this or how you know Mr. Deneau, but somehow invited you here. You're the first civilians to taste the car.
What we're hoping to do is offer you an opportunity to get impressions of how the car drives. We have a one-strike rule. If you take the car off the track, you drop 2 wheels off the track, you're not driving anymore. I'll be happy to take you for a ride.
The car here at the track is a pre-production model, but it does give us a good idea of what the Viper looks like and the things that have been changed. The body, most notably, is completely new. The old car was fiberglass. This is all carbon fiber and aluminum. Overall, they saved about 60 pounds in the body alone.
After 5 seconds, you go full off, traction's off, stability's off.
Yeah. One of the coolest things about the Viper is that every single vent you see is functional. Down here on the grill, we've got brake ducts on the inside, and this outside vent actually makes a curtain that goes over the outside of the wheels to cut down on drag. This specific car has the optional track pack that swaps out the regular P0 tires for stickier P0 Corsas. You get a lightweight wheel and a 2-piece aluminum hat rotor. Overall, it saves about 40 pounds total. Right now, we're on the roads just outside of Gingerman. We managed to sneak out for a few minutes to get a regular road driving impression, and we're impressed. This car is way more livable, it's way less noisy. We're actually excited about this car, not because of all the crazy performance, but because it's the sort of thing that you'd want to drive somewhere to then drive fast. So the old Viper was kind of crude. It was always this sort of raw and raucous car, and you kind of forgave it because it wasn't trying to be nice. But when you're getting up near $100,000, it has to be nice, and it never was. This new car illustrates that perfectly. I mean, this is finally a real car. It's got an interior that you wouldn't, be ashamed to show your friends. They also improved the seats. They're now made by the same company that makes seats for Ferrari. They're thinner, lighter, and way more comfortable. Under the hood, of course, still a V10, still 8.4 liters, but they've tweaked a lot of things. Starting with the intake, it's now made out of plastic instead of aluminum. It's lighter, and it's smoother, and it transmits less heat throughout the engine. Everything about the new Viper is more refined and just a little more dialed in. The shifter is a great example. It's in basically the same position. It's the same basic shift knob, but it's just lighter and more precise. You move it with your wrist instead of your forearm. The steel frame has been re-engineered. There's also a giant X-brace over the engine. Overall stiffness is up 50%, and that helps a lot with handling. So does the increased front track and the completely revised rear suspension. This Viper drives like you wish a Viper had always driven. The front end has a ton of grip. You always know what's going on with the front and the rear. It's basically much easier to drive, and as a result, way more fun. Chrysler engineers have kind of done the impossible. They've turned the Viper into something that you could actually consider to be a real GT car. It still has all this power. You can turn the stability control all the way off and do whatever sort of foolish things you want to do. They didn't go so far as to add a cup holder or, any excessive amount of luggage space. The priorities were still in the right place. So it looks like Chrysler has done the impossible with the Viper. They've turned it into a really comfortable GT car that you might actually want to live with without losing any of that raw edge. So why don't you tell us, is the Viper finally a world-class supercar?